I'm going to tell you a story that I used to tell to my 3 girls because it's about 3 sisters. And I've got 3 girls, haven't I? Once upon a time, there was a very, very important man, and he had 3 daughters. And he said to the daughters, to the oldest daughter, he said, "Oldest daughter, will you tell me how much you love me?" And the oldest daughter thought she'd show off. And she said, "Why, Father, I love you more than anything else in the world." He said, "Oh, you must be a faithful, loving daughter. You can have all this land that I own." And he said to the second daughter, "Daughter, how much do you love me?" And she said, "Why, Father, I love you more than my own life." And he said, "My goodness, you really must love me. I'm going to give you all my palaces and all my jewels." And he said to the third daughter, he said, "Third daughter, how much do you love me?" And she thought very carefully and very seriously, and she said, "Father, I love you more than meat loves salt." And the father said, "What? You clearly don't love me at all. I'm going to send you away. I banish you. I never want to see you again because you don't love me." So the third daughter, who was called Cap-o'-Rushes, she ran away into a cottage in the woods because she had nowhere else to live. And the only thing she could do was become a maid for these people who lived in the cottage in the wood. And she made herself clothes out of the rushes and the grasses and the leaves she found in the woods because that's all she had to clothe herself. So that's why she was called Cap-o'-Rushes. Well, she was very hard-working and very, very loving girl. And she looked after these people in the cottage very, very well. And one day she was out in the cottage gathering wood for the fire when a handsome prince did what handsome princes do in fairy stories. He came across and heard some singing. And he saw Cap-o'-Rushes singing in the forest. And he did what handsome princes do. He fell in love with her. First sight. "You must become my bride," he said. And she fell in love with the handsome prince too. So soon they were going to get married, and they had a big wedding planned. And they were going to invite all the people in the land. And the prince was going to get his father and mother to make a fantastic wedding feast. And so they got prepared, and the cook was asked to cook the feast. But Cap-o'-Rushes, the girl said, "Please, cook, do not let any of the food have salt. I don't want any of the food cooked with salt." He said, "But that won't taste very nice." "I don't want any of the food cooked with salt." "It won't stay good. It'll go off without salt." "I don't want any salt near the food." "But nobody will eat it if it has no salt." "I don't want any salt with the food." So the wedding feast came, and everybody sat down to eat and drink and enjoy the food. But, the food was horrible. They couldn't eat it. It tasted horrible. It was nearly going off, and they all pushed it away and left it. But one man was in the corner, sobbing and crying really loudly, and everybody said, "What's the matter?" "I had a daughter once," he said, "who told me she loved me more than meat loves salt. And I thought she didn't love me. I didn't understand. And now we have this food and we can't eat it because it has no salt. And now I realise she really did indeed love me very much. And I am a foolish man and sent her away. I told her I never wanted to see her again." But Cap-o'-Rushes removed her wedding veil and said, "Father, it's me. You have found me and I'm perfectly okay." And they gave each other a big cuddle. And they all lived happily ever after.
I want you to do that story again.
Did you like that story?